Our program will begin in 5 minutes. This ceremony is dedicated to FEU-NRMF founder, Dr. Nicanor M. Reyes, Jr.
The Institute of Medicine was not yet founded in my father's time. It was really Dr. Panganiban and then Nuring, in the sense that my father wanted Nuring to excel in his studies in Colombia, where he came from, because he went there after New York University. Shows that he expected him also to serve in FEU.
That they felt they had so much responsibility to carry on the traditions of the father, you know. Sa kanila, I think it was like their, I don't know, hindi naman elusive dream, but it was something that he and mom worked on. They wanted to have the hospital. They wanted to have FEU-NRMF.
It was a natural for them to want a school that would not be for profit, but
And that's why they wanted to help people. They felt probably that it was their mission in life to build a hospital. Not kasi university, nandun na yung nagawa na ng lolo yun, di ba? So parang si dad wanted to have his own mark on the hospital by putting up the hospital. And then he, in every aspect of that hospital, he was into it.
and so that's how the foundation started. It was really Dr. Alfonso and Dr. Juliano who were in administration, but they heartily seconded the idea of having a foundation. And it succeeded very well even during that time.
I think it's by their life that you get an idea of what they want from you, allowing you to be what you are, but being aware of what your family is about. The other Reyes now, like Butch is Nicanor Reyes the third, and Nino is Nicanor Reyes the fourth. Parang it's like a family tradition to carry on what your parents had already gone through.
I think to continue to support the things that he worked for and enjoyed doing. And one of them is really supporting the medical foundation. But for the rest of the university, it's going very well, and that many employees have been benefiting from the improvements that he instituted for their benefit. It has many branches now, and those other branches are doing well also. And that he would be interested to see the artwork, particularly, everywhere.
He loved life and lived it to the fullest. I really thank him for the way that they brought me up. I mean, their interest in sports, their interest in the arts. He was a real well-rounded person, and I wanted to copy him in that sense, to be an all-around person. And I really thank my dad for being who he was.
Please rise for the national anthem of the Republic of the Philippines. now be seated. To formally welcome us to this event is the Chief Operating Officer of FEU-NRMF, Mr. Juan Enrique J. Reyes.
Like many success stories, ours can be traced back to a simple idea. Dr. Nicanor Reyes Sr. envisioned a school that would teach accounting to Filipinos, a profession that was only available to foreigners at that time. More importantly, the founding father of FEU wanted to make world-class education available to the masses, thus providing his countrymen with the necessary skills to build our fledgling nation. Continuing his father's legacy, Dr. Nicanor Reyes Jr. spearheaded the opening of the FEU Institute of Medicine, followed by the FEU Hospital a few years later. In 1971, the two would comprise the Far Eastern University Dr. Nicanor Reyes Medical Foundation, a non-stock, non-profit foundation with its own juridical personality. Through the years, the Institute of Medicine would prove to be the pride and joy of FEU-NRMF, producing some of our country's best doctors and medical practitioners. Today, as we celebrate the 50th anniversary of the foundation, we also recognize 50 of our most outstanding alumni. Being a graduate of FEU-NRMF is no small feat. Staying true to the vision of our founder, we have been known to give equal opportunity for those seeking world-class education in the allied health professions. Yet, only the most resilient and determined individuals can endure the academic rigors required to earn a degree from the Far Eastern University Dr. Nicanor Reyes Medical Foundation. To be included among our top 50 graduates is truly remarkable. These men and women have overcome numerous challenges on their way to the top of their respective professions. They have embodied the values of their alma mater and the ethos of FEU-NRMF. Indeed, they have reached the stars through great difficulties. And speaking of difficulties, 2021 was supposed to be a banner year for us. Not only are we celebrating 50 years of FEU-NRMF, but we are also celebrating the centennial of our founder, Dr. Nicanor Reyes Jr., who would have turned 100 years old this past August 7. Naturally, we had to scale back our original plans to commemorate this momentous occasion due to the ongoing pandemic. Still, I am thankful to be able to celebrate with you today, albeit virtually. That we are still here to celebrate, in spite of all the obstacles that have come our way through the years, is a triumph of the human spirit. Without further ado, allow me to welcome you to the festivities. Mabuhay ang FEU-NRMF, ad astra per aspera.
Thank you, Mr. Reyes. Before we proceed, it is important to know how we arrived with this prestigious list of 52 awardees. Nominations were opened last January 2019 to all 30,000 alumni of the FEU-NRMF Institute of Medicine, and the deadline was extended up to the fourth quarter of 2020 due to the pandemic. From then on, a selection committee composed of non-FEU-NRMF alumni were tasked to evaluate the nominees' credentials and place them in the category most fitting of their accomplishments. Those who were recognized as one of the 45 most outstanding alumni were still deemed eligible for nomination. However, they were prohibited from being awarded under the same category they were previously recognized for. Without further ado, let the awarding ceremony begin. Our first category is leadership. Recipients of this award are recognized for achievements in their profession as exemplified by serving as president in national organizations, serving as an officer in international organizations, or serving as head or chairman of local or international training institutions.
Here are the Outstanding Alumni Awardees for the leadership category. Dr. Benjamin Aguila.
Early on, Dr. Aguila had already been displaying his talent and knack for leadership and governance through the Physical Therapy Student Council of FEU-NRMF. Years later, this has transcended to his professional career, and he has served or continues to serve in multiple ranking capacities in the United States. He is an engaged and active member of the American Physical Therapy Association, or APTA, currently serving as a delegate for the 2021 House of Delegates, representing the New Jersey component and its marketing committee. He was also an alternate delegate for the 2019 and 2020 cycle. He is a member of the APTA staff work group for internationally educated PTs, advocating for and together with other PTs educated outside the United States. In addition, he is also a member of the APTA HPA Global Health SIG Social Media Committee, advocating for platforms highlighting GHSIG efforts to provide resources, information, and support to SIG section and APTA members regarding global health, health disparities, cultural competency, disability, and service learning in resource-limited settings. To top it all, he serves as a charter board trustee and immediate past president of the Future Foundation, a non-profit organization for global PT advocacies, as well as a framer of its articles of incorporation and bylaws.
Dr. Fernando G. Ayuyao.
Dr. Ayuyao is an icon of excellence to many in the medical community. He has always exuded great leadership, as he started his career as a medical practitioner from scratch, then becoming the Department of Medicine's chairman to the president of the Philippine College of Chest Physicians, and eventually the president of the Philippine College of Physicians. He is lauded not only for his exceptional gift as a clinician, a professor, but also as an inspiration, as a leader in this profession. FEU-NRMF and the medical community are very fortunate to experience his outstanding contributions to healthcare. May this recognition commemorate his great service.
Dr. Jose Ravelo T. Bartolome.
The depth and breadth of Dr. Bartolome's service to the Philippine Society of General Surgeons is extraordinary, so much so that he was awarded as Knight of the Knife for leadership by the Metro Manila chapter. To add, his outstanding leadership qualities have been demonstrated through his contributions as the Vice President and President of the FEU-NRMF Medical Alumni Society, Inc. from 2012 to 2015, as the Treasurer, Vice President and President of the Philippine College of Surgeons Metro Manila in 2013, 2014, and 2015 respectively, as the President of the Philippine Society of General Surgeons in 2018 to 2019, as Chairman of the FEU-NRMF Department of Surgery, and as the Chairman, Board of Governors of the Philippine College of Surgeons in 2020. As the President of the Philippine Society of General Surgeons, he displayed remarkable resolve to achieve goals and objectives. He led committee meetings with patients and organization, effectively motivating his colleagues and thoughtfully acknowledging both their generosity and desire to support the society. He continues his involvement with the society by encouraging and advising younger colleagues who are the present and future leaders of this energetic and active organization. In this capacity, he has very adeptly guided organizations and societies in the leadership succession process and has ensured that there is improving continuing surgical education for younger colleagues. Tireless, thoughtful, and wise. He is an unusually gifted surgeon, being one of the only 6 Filipinos to date being conferred Fellow of the Royal College of Surgeons of Edinburgh, which makes him an exceptional recipient for the Most Outstanding Alumni Award in Leadership.
Dr. Hiner T. Besina.
Dr. Besina is a critical care specialist with training on surfactant replacement, high-frequency ventilation, and recently, hemoperfusion. He served as section head of FEU-NRMF Medical Center's Pediatric Intensive Care Unit for more than 10 years. He is a founding member of the Philippine Society of Critical Care Medicine, as well as its past president, after having served various positions earlier. He is a former member of the Ad Hoc Committee on Neonatal Sepsis under the Department of Health. He is also the past chair of the Department of Pediatrics and head of the Intensive Care Unit of the National Children's Hospital. Finally, he served as president of the FEU-NRMF Medical Alumni Society and Faculty Club, and despite retirement, he remains an active consultant faculty at the Department of Child Health.
Dr. Grace Budi Rabadam.
Straight out of medical school, Dr. Budi Rabadam took her residency at the St. Vincent's Hospital Medical Center in New York and worked her way up to become chief resident of pediatrics. She then proceeded to making a name for herself, whilst proudly bannering FEU-NRMF and the Philippines by becoming a liaison officer for foreign medical graduates in her capacity as a member of the Medical Society of New York. She was also a member of the Suffolk Pediatric Society Board and the Suffolk Heart Association, the treasurer of the Philippine Economic and Cultural Endowment, founder, secretary, vice president, and president of the Association of Philippine Physicians of New York, professorial chair, member of the board, secretary for 6 years, and treasurer for 10 years of the FEU-NRMF, founded the New York chapter of the said foundation and served as president, and served in the Hospital Medical Board Utilization Review Committee, Pediatric Audit, Home Care, and Infection Control Committee of Bellevue Hospital, New York University.
Dr. Maria Cawilan Aguila.
Formerly awarded under the Career Achievement category of FEU-NRMF's 45 Most Outstanding Alumni. Dr. Cawilan Aguila's versatility as an individual has allowed her to excel in other aspects such as leadership. She was a recipient of the American Physical Therapy Association of New Jersey Leadership Award. She has also been a director at large and the liaison of the Cultural Diversity Committee at the same organization. Finally, she's the president and a founding officer of the Future Foundation, a non-profit international alumni organization of the FEU-NRMF School of Physical Therapy, registered in New Jersey.
Dr. Danilo B. Dominguez.
For his tireless and outstanding leadership in organizing the medical technology alumni in the United States and abroad, elevating the profession to world standards, creating the master's degree scholarship program, and doing outreach to our indigenous communities in Central Luzon, Mr. Dominguez is being given this prestigious recognition. In 1976, he was a part of the Filipino Medical Technology Association of America. In 1988, he involved himself in a grassroots campaign to do a membership recruiting drive for all the licensed and unlicensed Filipino medical technologists in the Bay Area. Through persistent phone calls and personal networking, he was able to recruit 200 medical technologists to the Filipino Medical Technologists Association of America. By 1989, he became involved with PAMIT USA, and in 2009 served as third vice president and first vice president from 2016 to 2018. Locally, he became the moving force with PAMIT NorCal, where he was instrumental in forming PAMIT Sacramento. He is now in the process of establishing 2 more PAMIT chapters in Hawaii and New Mexico. In 2014, he was elected president of the FEU-NRMF Medical Technology International Alumni Society, where he initiated the establishment of continuing education programs with FEU-NRMF School of Medical Laboratory Science and the local Medical Technology Alumni Society. That same year, he initiated the establishment and funding of the Dan Dominguez Master's Degree Program. Kathleen Joy Labrador was the first recipient in 2015, followed by TJ Haula in 2018 and Kyle Valencia for 2020. In 2018, with MTIAS past president Maxi Adora, they spearheaded the Society's first big outreach program with our indigenous Aita people by visiting sites in Central Luzon and providing 5 carabaos for livelihood and hundreds of 500-liter plastic water containers. Because of these efforts, he has earned the respect and gratitude of those for whom and with whom he serves. Finally, he was inducted as president of PAMIT USA last August 2020.
Dr. Noli C. Ginigundo.
Dr. Ginigundo has been active with the US-based FEU-NRMF for almost 40 years, serving as secretary, vice president, director, president, and chairman of the board. One of the last things he did in his term was forging the Memorandum of Agreement between the US-based and local alumni societies. This was done with a desire to strengthen and harmonize relationships of 2 groups, each having the same goal but with very different perspectives. He not only faithfully and diligently fulfilled his duties, but led the FEU-NRMF to a stronger and more prosperous unit. Being groomed by the military, his exterior is somewhat stern and even slightly intimidating. But when he is assured those ambitions are pure and that goals are shared, He exposes his warm heart and jovial spirit. He is a strong leader, a courageous fighter for rights in the face of adversity, yet a gentle man who empowers those around him and appreciates the efforts of all.
Dr. Policarpio B. Hoves Jr.
The many accomplishments and awards received by Dr. Hoves are a testament that FEU-NRMF can truly be proud of him. Beyond our walls as the incumbent head of quality assurance and former medical director, where he strengthened primary care services, he served as president of the Philippine Academy of Family Physicians from 2017 to 2019 and the Healthcare Executive Society of the Philippines from 2018 up to the present. He was also the past president of the Foundation of Family Medicine Educators, Inc. In addition, he pioneered the first practice-based residency training program in community and family medicine at St. Jude Hospital. Finally, he steered PAFP to an active involvement in the passage of the Universal Healthcare Law.
Dr. Raul L. Lapitan.
Dr. Lapitan is a staunch advocate of participative cardiology, wherein the patient is actively involved in his treatment. He is creator and initiator of various programs in the Philippines Heart Association, beneficial to his colleagues as well as the general public. During his stint as the president of the PHA, he put forward his advocacies and unrelentingly promoted them. Universally popular is his Sneakers Friday, which advocates walking 10,000 steps a day in comfortable sneakers, which fulfills the CDC recommendation of 30 minutes of exercise per day. Another program of his is the CPR on Wheels and Wings, the lay CPR training drive of the PHA, which aims to increase the chance of survival from sudden cardiac arrest by 30%. Today, we recognize him for his unrelenting promotion of his advocacy of a heart-healthy and fit Philippines.
Dr. Arsenio R. Martin.
Our first posthumous awardee. Tito Sen, as he was lovingly called by almost all that knew him, was a leader in every sense of the word. He showed great vision when he established the FEU-NRMF scholarship program. He actively sought scholars to enroll at FEU-NRMF, spent hours with them in person, on telephone and online coaching, and encouraged them to excel. He led by example, untiringly offering his expertise and resources to this project, with the wonderful outcome of having most, if not all, of his scholars being in the top 10 of the physician licensure examination. Although some scholars decided to train in the US, all actively participate in their alma mater's activities, repaying Tito Sen's love and loyalty to FEU-NRMF. He also organized and participated in medical missions to remote parts of the Philippines. Locally, he served as president of Texas Association of Philippine Physicians, chief of staff at Christus St. Mary Hospital, medical director of Dubuque Port Arthur, president of Christus Physician Health Organization, and president of Medical Surgical Mission of Texas. His legacy lives on as one of the scholars Dr. Robert Arias and close associate Dr. Nani Tansuche continue to scout for, encourage, and offer full support to the FEU-NRMF scholarship program.
Dr. May Emeline B. Montellano.
Dr. Montellano is currently the Dean of the Manila Theological College of Medicine. She held various positions in local and international organizations. She was past president of the Pediatric Infectious Disease Society of the Philippines and the Philippine Foundation for Vaccination. She is a member of the Technical Working Group for Infectious Diseases and Immunization at the Department of Health. She is also a renowned speaker in local and international conferences. An avid researcher, she is currently the head of the Clinical Research Unit of FEU-NRMF and a reviewer of the Elsevier Journal.
Dr. Leonardo A. Ona Jr.
Our second posthumous awardee. Dr. Ona did not dream of becoming a surgeon. It was a challenge from his father, an accomplished ENT then, that he shifted to a pre-med course at the University of the Philippines. After graduating as class president from the Far Eastern University Institute of Medicine, he went to the United States and eventually entered a surgical training program at the Brooklyn Cumberland Hospital in New York City. Because of his extraordinary leadership skills, he was able to break the unwritten tradition by being the first non-white chief resident in the institution. After passing the certifying examination of the American Board of Surgery and having been offered with a lucrative practice in several institutions in the United States, Dr. Ona chose to go back to his home country, where he believed he could make a difference. It was fortunate that Dr. Ona met a group of young surgeons from abroad who shared the same sentiment he had in dreaming for a standardized measure of competency in surgery. He joined the recently established Philippine Board of Surgery. In 1973, Dr. Ona was recruited by Dr. Antonio Oposa to join the Philippine College of Surgeons. It was in this organization that he saw the opportunity to participate in instituting relevant changes for the betterment of surgery in the country. He was instrumental in campaigning to have the PBS become the examining arm for board certification in surgery. Perhaps the most significant contribution that Dr. Ona had to the field of surgery is his long service as chair of the Committee on Accreditation. It was in Dr. Ona's direction that the country witnessed an unprecedented increase of training institutions accredited by the PCS. Even to this day, a big chunk of accredited programs still standing today was born during the time that he headed the committee. Dr. Ona was not contented in his corner of medical practice. He saw the need to help the less fortunate by entering politics. He became a municipal councilor in his hometown of San Jose, Batangas in 1971 until 1986. This enabled him to bring medical and surgical expertise to this rural community by conducting countless of medical missions and by bringing surgical cases for treatment in Manila. It became evident that for a particular period of time, it would not be unthinkable to see half of the charity census of FEU-NRMF, Manila Sanitarium Hospital, and the United Doctors Medical Center to have addresses from his hometown. This is his legacy to his constituents.
Dr. Nolan E. Pecho,
A well-known figure in FEU-NRMF Medical Center. Dr. Pecho is the incumbent Chief Medical Officer, a position he held since May 2018. A few months prior, he was Chief of Clinics at the same healthcare institution. These appointments were preceded by heading the Primary Care Services, Chairmanship of the Department of Surgery, Head of the Outpatient Department, President of the FEU-NRMF Faculty Association, and Section Head of the Minor Surgery Unit. Meanwhile, he has managed to attain leadership positions as well beyond his alma mater, member, Board of Trustees, Philippine Society of General Surgeons, Metro Manila Chapter, and Chairman, Committee on Socials and Sports, BSGS, Metro Manila Chapter.
Dr. Renato G. Ramos,
At his chosen specialty of cardiology, Dr. Ramos has been actively involved in the residency and fellowship program at Beaumont Hospital, particularly in interventional cardiology. He assisted in the development of the Cardiac Catheterization Laboratory and is responsible for starting the annual Cardiovascular Conference in Cardiology in Colorado 23 years ago. As longtime director spanning 4 decades of the Clinical Fellowship in Cardiac Cath Laboratory, he has trained more than 200 cardiologists who are now practicing all over Michigan, other parts of the United States, and abroad. In recognition of his contributions, he was presented with the Outstanding Medical Education and Teaching Award in 2010. Notable too are his contributions in professional and civic activities. He is an FEU loyalist, having the longest record of active service, 36 years to be exact, in FEU-NRMF. He served as president and then chairman for 12 years. He was voted the Most Outstanding Alumnus and recently received the Lifetime Service and Achievement Award from the Foundation. He has been an advisor and mentor to many of the Foundation members and officers, and remains actively involved in an advisory capacity to the board. His other leadership positions include the Association of the Philippine Physicians in America and the Philippine Medical Association of Michigan.
Dr. Kim Shi-tan,
No better title describes him than the father of Philippine laparoscopic surgery. Dr. Kim Shi-tan has been often recognized as a master in the art and skills of surgery. He spearheaded the country's first laparoscopic surgery society, which is the Philippine Society of Laparoscopic Surgeons. He was also invited as a speaker and panelist in different surgical conventions, both local and abroad. With this, he led the section of minimally invasive surgery at the FEU-NRMF Medical Center from 1991 to 2013 and made it renowned all over the country and the world. Other positions he held was section head, minimally invasive surgery, both in St. Luke's Medical Center and Metropolitan Medical Center. He also served as the regent of Philippine College of Surgeons. His leadership shone not only in his practice as a surgeon, but also as an academician. He served as the past chairman of the Department of Surgery of FEU-NRMF from 1999 to 2008, and currently a full professor in the Institute of Medicine. Other teaching positions he held are Training Officer, Department of Surgery FEU-NRMF, Chairman, Department of Surgery Metropolitan Medical Center, and Chairman, Philippine College of Surgeons Committee on Surgical Research. Due to his devotion in leading the propagation of laparoscopic surgery in the Philippines, he was recognized by the Philippine Medical Association and given the Presidential Award in Modern Medicine, awarded May 2006. Congratulations to all the leadership awardees. Up next, we have Career Achievement. Recipients of this award must have exemplary performance in fields other than their profession, excellence in their chosen career, or serving as an elected or appointed government official.
Here are the Outstanding Alumni Awardees for the Career Achievement category. Colonel Samuel Andin.
Colonel Andin performed the first known atrial septal defect closure at the Ilocos Training and Regional Medical Center, corollary to its vision of becoming the heart, lung, and kidney center of the North. This was quickly followed by many firsts in the field of TCVS and ITRMC, the first coronary artery bypass grafting in August 2000, the first permanent pacemaker implantation in August 2001, and the first mitral valve replacement in December 2001. He led the Philippine Association of Thoracic and Cardiovascular Surgeons in 2010. In 2011, he became a member of the Board of Governors of the Philippine College of Surgeons, further cementing his recognition by his peers in the field of surgery. He acts as the training officer of the Cardiac and Vascular Surgery Fellowship Training Program and is the section head for vascular surgery at the Philippine Heart Center, chairs the Quezon City General Hospital Department of Surgery, and is an assistant professor for cardiovascular surgery in the FEU-NRMF Department of Surgery. For his dedication to the education of our future physicians, he is awarded the Exemplary Faculty Award for Leadership by the FEU Department of Surgery in 2019. He has also been recognized by the Armed Forces of the Philippines for the services he has rendered for our troops in battle. He is a lieutenant colonel in the Reserve Medical Corps of the AFP and is the battalion commander of the 3rd Technical Service Battalion of the Philippine Navy. He initiated a technical combat casualty care course at the Philippine Marines Basic School, resulting in a considerable decline in the number of casualties among combat Marines. For service rendered, he has received military medal awards from the Civil Military Operations in Holos, Sulu, and RPUS Balikatan exercises in Tawi-Tawi in his capacity as surgeon of the ground forces in support of the U.S. Navy ship Mercy in 2006.
Brigadier General Joselito P. Avancenia.
Brigadier General Avancenia had his humble beginnings as a medtech intern at the Rizal Medical Center. He eventually achieved many outstanding awards not only as a surgeon pilot, but through climbing the ranks to become a medical director, commander at the different hospitals under the Armed Forces of the Philippines, like the AFP Medical Center, Manila Naval Hospital, Cavite Naval Hospital, and even as far as Camp Panacan Station Hospital in eastern Mindanao, Davao City. He has received several awards or decorations and commendation both from the military and civilian status. He is a man of good moral character who hailed from Cavite, a dedicated husband, and a good father and provider to his 3 children.
Mr. Walter B. Bayubay.
Mr. Bayubay is equipped with more than 35 years of experience as a clinical laboratory scientist, also known as medical technologist, both locally in the Philippines and internationally, Saudi Arabia and United States of America. He is also a recipient of the Quest Hero Award, a prestigious award given by Quest Diagnostics, chosen among 70 other candidates from all over the United States. Currently, he sits as the Vice President of the Philippine Association of Medical Technologists, Southern California Chapter. Moreover, he is the recipient of the PAMIT SoCal Achievement Award, PAMIT SoCal Most Promising New Executive Officer Award, and PAMIT USA Most Outstanding Member Award.
Dr. Melanio G. Cruz Jr.
The final posthumous awardee. We look back at the incredible career of our former Vice President for Academic Affairs and Professor Emeritus, Dr. Cruz. He finished his medical degree in 1967, his surgery training in 1975, and his plastic surgery training in 1978. This was the time he started teaching while building up his surgical career. Years later, he proceeded with his Master of Arts in Education and finished it in 1991, his Master of Business Administration in 1992, Doctor of Education in 1994, his Doctor of Philosophy in 2005, and proceeded with his Doctor of Philosophy in Public Administration. He taught for more than 45 years and earned multiple citations and awards. Throughout that stint, including the Dr. Josephine C. Reyes Merit Awards in 2012, Dr. Jesus Nolasco Award Most Outstanding Senior Faculty in 2009, Most Outstanding Consultant and Faculty in 2000, 2001, and 2002, and eventually conferred Professor Emeritus last 2016. Meanwhile, in his practice, he considered it his lifelong mission to do free cleft surgeries and other surgical procedures with over 10,000 patients served together with PBM and other service organizations. He was also a voluntary surgical consultant in the Philippine Constabulary Integrated National Police General Hospital, now known as the PNP General Hospital, where he was commissioned major in the Medical Corps AFP Reserve in 1980 and subsequently promoted to Lieutenant Colonel in March 1989. He served as chairman of the ER-OPD of FEU-NRMF Medical Center from 1988 to 1999. He was a founding member and vice president of the Philippine Society of Emergency Care Physicians and its president in 1992. He served as a board member of the Philippine Academy for Head and Neck Surgery Incorporated from 2004 to 2008 and president from 2008 to 2010. He served as a board member for Philippine Society for Quality in Healthcare from 2009 to 2013 and held multiple chair positions in its various committees. He was the chief of the Plastic and Reconstructive Section of the FEU-NRMF Medical Center from 1984 to 2017. He eventually left that position to focus on his responsibilities as the Vice President of Academic Affairs of the FEU-NRMF Institute of Medicine.
Dr. Socorro de Leon Mendoza.
Dr. De Leon Mendoza is a practicing neonatologist and general pediatrician in the Philippines for the past 3 decades. She is a fellow of the Philippine Pediatric Society and the Philippine Society of Newborn Medicine. Dr. Suki, as she is more commonly known, is currently chairperson and president of the Kangaroo Mother Care Foundation Philippines Inc., founded in 2008, and lead convener of the Asia-Oceania KMC Network in 2018. She is also the immediate past president of the Federation of Asia and Oceania Perinatal Societies. After completing a 10-year stint as Assistant Professor C of Pediatrics at FEU-NRMF, she continued to focus her efforts in clinical training and education of doctors, nurses, and midwives in the field of newborn care and research, being a much sought-after lecturer and workshop facilitator in various conferences here and abroad. Her contribution to pediatric education, perhaps, can be measured by the number of lectures and speaking engagements she has effectively delivered in the past 30 years in newborn medicine and pediatrics. Not counting her lectures on kangaroo mother care, she has effectively delivered 120 to date and conducted 24 workshops both for her Mother Society and Subspecialty Society. Her expertise in organizational development and management is a quality she has consistently shown, having been at the helm of professional organizations such as the Perinatal Association of the Philippines, the Philippine Society of Newborn Medicine, the Institute for Reproductive Health Philippines Inc., and most recently, the FAO-PS. Her experience in the field of clinical research and formulation of policies on newborn care has been recognized by various professional organizations, such as the Philippine Pediatric Society and the Philippine Society of Newborn Medicine, and for which she still serves as an active member of their research committees. To date, she has 19 published papers, 11 podium presentations, and with 10 more in the pipeline for publication. She has also served as member of the Board of Judges in several research and poster competitions of various organizations and institutions. She was a recipient of various scholarship grants, notably from the Colombian Fundación Canguro for kangaroo mother care and 2 from the Japan International Cooperation Agency in the fields of neonatal and infant screening and HIV/AIDS. She has likewise attended and completed several training workshops that have contributed to her expertise as a complete and competent neonatologist and pediatrician. Finally, because of her pioneering and continuing work on KMC since 1999, her name has become almost synonymous with KMC in the Philippines. Consequently, Dr. Mendoza and the KMC Foundation Philippines Inc. have become the key technical resource of the Philippines Department of Health on its program of care for small babies, package of interventions for preterm and low birth weight neonates. Her work in KMC was recognized by the Philippine Medical Association with a 2019 Most Outstanding Physician Award for her contribution to modern medicine. In 2020, she was awarded the Most Outstanding Pediatrician by the Philippine Pediatric Society. As the country's champion of KMC, Dr. Suki is considered a prolific lecturer not only in local conferences but also in various international congresses, notably the International Network on Kangaroo Mother Care Biennial Workshop and Conference, the FEU-PS Biennial Congress, the World Association of Perinatal Medicine, Congress for Developing Countries, and the World Federation of Scientists annual seminars and workshops. Dr. Mendoza and her untiring commitment to newborn care, particularly for preterm and small babies, has gained for her a recognition in Philippine neonatology that is likewise acknowledged in other countries.
Mr. Juan Paulo and Guillermo.
Embarking on a nursing career at one of the premier medical institutions of the Philippines has been truly rewarding for Mr. Guillermo. Starting out as a staff nurse for the digestive and liver unit at St. Luke's Medical Center, he has propelled himself to occupy the following roles in less than a decade: clinical nurse educator for clinical advancement and informatics, nursing database officer for nursing research, systems management and accreditation, promoted to department manager, and currently Associate Director of Ancillary Services.
Dr. Huberto F. Lapus.
Dr. Lapus is currently the Medical Center Chief of Dr. Paulino J. Garcia Memorial Research and Medical Center, a DOH Level 3 hospital in Cabanatuan City. With his leadership skills, the hospital became ISO 9001 accredited since 2014, received the highest Gold Trailblazer Award for its revalida on the initiation stage of Performance Governance System in 2019. From 4 major departments, there are now 10 accredited residency training programs, with 1 fellowship training in plastic and reconstructive surgery, and the hospital is now FREB Level 2 accredited.
Dr. Florencio Q. Lucero.
Dr. Lucero is a respected plastic surgeon among his peers and is a global traveler, particularly in Southeast Asia, attending multiple conferences related to his specialty and a faculty in most of these scientific conferences. He was a university scholar at Far Eastern University and placed 7th in the Philippines Physician Licensure Examinations. He is a fellow of the Philippines College of Surgeons and Philippines Association of Plastic Reconstructive and Aesthetic Surgeons. He served as Division Chief of Plastic Surgery at the University of the Philippines for 17 years.
Dr. Lilia P. Luna.
Dr. Luna's achievements in the practice of medicine have been recognized by several award-giving bodies, beginning with her excellence in the practice of obstetrics and gynecology. The Philippine Obstetrical and Gynecological Society bestowed upon her the Baldomero Rojas Award for Academic Excellence in 2000 and the Honoraria Acosta Season Award for Recognition in Research in 2006. Such excellence has not gone unrecognized either by the Professional Regulations Commission of the Philippines, who gave her the Most Outstanding Professional in the Field of Medicine Award in 2009. Internationally, she was conferred the Woman of the Year Award by the Federation of International Obstetrics and Gynecology in 2009 as well. The following year, Reader's Digest recognized her as one of the most trusted doctors in the Philippines. Currently, she continues to serve Far Eastern University Dr. Nicanor Reyes Medical Foundation as a Professor Emeritus in the Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology, a Senior Consultant, and the Head of the Section on Menopause. Likewise, she is the Vice President, Medical Director, and a member of the Board of Directors in Capital Medical Center.
Dr. Roberto G. Manawis.
Taking on the entrepreneurial path as the President, Chief Executive Officer, and Board Director of Scientific Biotech Specialties, Inc., Mr. Manawis. Since 1998, he has been responsible in the founding, organizing, developing, and growing of the firm's market opportunities in the in vitro diagnostics industry in the Philippines. Prior to this, he was focused on TNC Everlight Philippines, which is the distributor of Biomerio, a French multinational biotechnology company. He was professional sales representative, training coordinator, product manager, sales manager, sales and promotions manager, sales and marketing manager, and finally, vice president of the company.
Chief Mercenita B. Paras.
Chief Paras is an unquestionable and inspiring leader. As her batchmates would state, nowadays when you have a certain power to make people follow, it is subject to abuse. Fortunately, she has deviated from that and only aims for a fair and just system. She headed 2 LTO licensing centers and were all commended by colleagues and, more importantly, by the citizens she serves. Social media attestations of her office, the LTO Quezon City Licensing Center, are overflowing with positive recommendations and feedback about her meritorious and dedicated service. Further, she influences and motivates people to strive to do better. She innovates and brings LTO services to the people. As she believes that broken systems must be replaced, she does what she knows best by innovating and improving the LTO branches entrusted to her. For her efforts, she has received commendation from the Department of National Defense, from the PWD sector, from her organization, and most importantly, gratitude and recognition from the public for her exemplary customer service.
Colonel Nelson S. Picache.
Colonel Picache is the Surgeon General of the Armed Forces of the Philippines, playing a significant role in the AFP's efforts against COVID-19. In addition, he exercises supervisory and staff functions of planning, directing, coordinating, and controlling all matters pertaining to medical services, advises the Chief of Staff on all medical matters, exercises technical supervision over all military treatment facilities and other units of the medical service, establishes and implements the health standards, and establishes, implements, and monitors professional standards for AFP medical service units and its personnel. His previous military ranks include Resident Medical Doctor, Urology Service, Department of Surgery, VLGH, AFP Medical Center, Urologist, Manila Naval Hospital, Philippine Navy, Medical Officer, Naval Education and Training Command, Philippine Navy, Assistant Chief, Urology Service, Department of Surgery, Ward Officer, CQ Ward, Training Officer, Officer in Charge, Urology Service, and Assistant Department Head, all at the Department of Surgery, VLGH, AFP Medical Center, Deputy Chief Surgeon, Office of the Army Chief Surgeon, Philippine Army, Commanding Officer, Fort del Pilar Station Hospital, Philippine Military Academy, and Commanding Officer, Fort Magsaysay Army Station Hospital, 7th Infantry Division, Philippine Army.
Mr. Earl A. Salavante.
He is the incumbent Chief Nursing Officer of the FEU-NRMF Medical Center. Mr. Salavante's swift transition from that of a staff nurse to becoming the leader of the Nursing Service Division has served as an inspiration to his students and fellow colleagues. It was not an easy path to assume the highest position, as there were others who had been with the medical center longer and with more experience. But despite this, he hurdled all challenges and proved to be worthy of the appointment. His career progression has arguably been predictable, since his excellence in academics and task accomplishment during his college days were identified early on by his professors. Furthermore, he could have chosen to work at many other hospitals, but his devotion to his alma mater, coupled with a dynamic persona, passion to learn, and commitment to his profession have helped the management realize that these traits are what they wish all FEU-NRMF nurses would emulate.
Mr. Reyno Dante Salta.
Mr. Salta's career achievements have been glowing testimonials for giving honor to the FEU-NRMF School of Medical Laboratory Science. After attaining 10th place in the Medical Technology Board examination given by the Professional Regulations Commission in 1974, he became a faculty member of the FEU-NRMF School of Medical Technology under parasitology and a senior medical technologist of the medical center's clinical laboratory from 1975 to 1983. He also received the Outstanding Faculty Special Citation Award for being the faculty counselor for the School of Medical Technology Dean's Committee on Student Affairs. Since working at the Laboratory Corporation of America in 1983, he also received numerous awards. In 2019, he received the highest award given by the chairman and CEO of LabCorp for exemplified leadership, distinguished dedication, and relentless pursuit of excellence. The chairman and the Stalwart Award. He was the recipient of Laboratorian of the Year awards in 1998 and 2001.
Dr. Ray Melchor F. Santos.
Dr. Santos is the current head of the FEU-NRMF Research Center for Development. He has been known for being a man of his words and is admired for his diligence, efficiency, and excellence, not just with his theoretical and surgical skills, but mostly with his leadership skills. He has been with the Department of Surgery for more than 20 years, and with that, there are no doubts that he is a perfect fit for this category. Way back to his years in medical school, he graduated as cum laude. He was awarded as a Winthrop Stern Scholar. He also pursued further studies and was tagged as the lone gold medal awardee for all master's degrees in 1994 and atop of his class during his postgraduate studies at Veterans Memorial Medical Center, Master in Management, 1991. During his time as PMA president, he was cited by the Reader's Digest as the 23rd most trusted person in the Philippines. He has demonstrated performance at a level far above and beyond normal expectations during his numerous appointments as a leader in different societies and organizations. Chair of the Philippine Board of Surgery, President of the Philippine Medical Association, President of the Philippine College of Surgeons, and President of the Philippine Association of Laparoscopic and Endoscopic Surgeons. He has contributed significant impact on the medical center through process improvement, outstanding dedication, extraordinary competence, and exceptional leadership.
Dr. Endemion Ervin M. Tan.
Dr. Tan has been exemplifying his expertise in infectious diseases for several years now. He was and/or currently serves in several major tertiary hospitals in the Philippines, including Metropolitan Medical Center, Philippine Heart Center, Hospital ng Parañaque, Olivares General Hospital, Protasio General Hospital, and the FEU-NRMF Medical Center, where he was tasked to head the Infection Control Committee at the onset of the pandemic. But what makes him truly unique is his plentiful speaking engagements on different medical topics at the following renowned medical shows: GMA 7's Kapuso Mo Jessica Soho on the topics of dwarfism and cobra bites and anti-venom, CNN Philippines Med Talk, aired by TV9 on the topics of rabies, malaria, and the Zika virus, DZMM Teleradyo's celebration of World Hand Washing Day, ABS-CBN's Salamat Talk on the topics of diarrhea and food poisoning and recreational water illnesses, TV5's Alagang Kapatid on the topic HIV awareness, and DZBB's monthly radio guest speaker.
Honorable Alfredo P. Valdez Jr.
Honorable Alfredo P. Valdez Jr. is the embodiment of a modern-day public servant who sincerely and honestly aims to alleviate the quality of the lives of his constituents. He uses the knowledge and experience he gained in the structured profession of medicine and translated it into good governance in the management of his municipality. He taps in all sections on the community and successfully utilizes public-private partnerships in attaining his goals. Harvesting the fruit of all his innovative programs, he is recognized for his work both locally and internationally. Moreover, his unparalleled service and genuine compassion for the underprivileged in his community has endeared him to his townmates, resulting in his 3 terms as mayor of San Nicolas, Ilocos Norte. 5 original scientific peer-reviewed articles. He has presented more than 100 scientific abstracts and has presented 378 lectures all around the globe. He has also served with government agencies like the FDA for safety guidelines on epidural steroid injections and a reviewer of multiple grant applications. Lastly, he serves as visiting professor at multiple prestigious medical schools: Harvard, Cleveland Clinic, Cornell Med School, to name a few.
Dr. Bolly T. Chua Chan.
Dr. Chua Chan's lifelong devotion to education has led to her appointment as the first Vice President for Academic Affairs of FEU-NRMF from 2013 to 2021. She started out as Chief Resident of the Department of Community and Family Medicine, and then she became the coordinator of CFM's Residency Training Committee right after. She was also the chairman of the department, assistant dean of the Institute of Medicine, and a member of the Board of Trustees of her alma mater. Outside the foundation, she was a biostatistics professor at the Ateneo Graduate School of Business for its Master in Health Services Administration degree and Institute of Community and Family Health, Inc. for its Master of Public Health program. She was also an associate member, regular member, and the chair of the Specialty Board of Examiners of the Philippine Academy of Family Physicians. Today, she has decided to focus on being an associate professor, clinical research consultant, the subject coordinator of EHSM, CPH, Research 1 and Research 2 at FEU-NRMF, as well as teaching master's degree students at the Healthcare, Research and Statistics of St. Joseph's College of Quezon City and the Trinity University of Asia.
Dr. Macario C. Corpus Jr.
Dr. Corpus is another awardee who has an extensive teaching track record. He was formerly full-time faculty of the Departments of Biochemistry, Pharmacology, and Physiology at the College of Medicine of the Virgen Milagrosa University in San Carlos City, Pangasinan. He then migrated to the United States and became an assistant clinical instructor of the Health Science Center at the State University of New York. He was also a lecturer for casting workshops at the Massachusetts Medical Society Convention and clinical faculty, attending physician, and assistant professor at the University of Massachusetts Medical School.
Dr. Shirley F. Cruzada.
Dr. Cruzada is a recognized expert educator for medical laboratory scientists for more than 40 years, not only in Asia but also in the United States, where she is currently a CLS professor at the College of Southern Nevada. She is the recipient of numerous teaching awards, including the prestigious Willa Hilbert Hedrick Lifetime Achievement Award in Education from the Philippine Association of Medical Technology in 2019. In her commitment to pay it forward, she spends her annual vacation time in the Philippines by participating in medical missions, serving as a resource speaker, and giving free lectures, seminars, and review classes in different review centers and medical technology schools in the country.
Dr. Ray H. De Los Reyes.
They say the health professions teacher must possess 3 distinct scholarships to be relevant: as an educator, researcher, and a clinician. And in all 3 roles, Dr. De Los Reyes played them with the highest order of merit and distinction. As an educator, he is the current dean of the FEU-NRMF School of Medicine, a full professor, and a candidate for a doctorate in business administration. Of more than 10,000 medical graduates, only 4 have attained the deanship so far. Further, he established the only subspecialty training in gynecologic oncology outside of UP-PGH, and one of 3 subspecialty trainings in reproductive medicine in the entire Philippines. As a researcher, he won top awards in international and local research contests, and with over 24 published research works and 8 textbooks as editor, co-editor, and contributor. As a clinician, he won the highest academic award in POGS, became president of the POGS, SGOP, PSO, and PSCPC, and because of these influences, his students, residents, and fellows are now serving the underprivileged across the country.
Dr. Nemuel S. Fahutagana.
Dr. Fahutagana is currently engaged in the realm of public service through the National Teacher Training Center for the Health Professions at the University of the Philippines, Manila. He was also director of the State University's Interactive Learning Center, team leader for training of BuddyWorks Telementoring Project, and the overall coordinator of Capacity Enhancement Program 1, a basic course for DOH representatives, and Capacity Enhancement Program 2, Advocacy and Networking for DOH representatives. His other notable positions include Honorary Fellow, Philippine College of Chest Physicians, Vice President, Corazon P. Gonzalez Memorial Foundation, Vice President and Executive Committee Member, Asia Pacific Association on PBL in Health Sciences, International Advisory Board Member, 7th Joint Asia Pacific Conference on PBL in Health Sciences, Consultant of the Editorial Board, Journal of Medical Education, Taiwan Association of Medical Education. Education Advisor, Philippine College of Chest Physicians. Chairman of the Board of Trustees, Medical Action Group. Technical Advisor, Distance Education Program for Anesthesia, Philippine Society of Anesthesia. Family Planning Social Acceptance Program for Curriculum Development. Technical Advisor for Education and Training, ICOMP Malaysia. Chairperson of the Board of Trustees, TriDev Specialists Foundation Inc. Commissioner, Unit 3, World Council of Churches, Geneva, Switzerland. Health Consultant, Consultancy Team Inc. Bread for the World Philippines. Training Consultant, Asia Development Consultants Inc. Community Organizing and Training Consultant of the Philippine Center for Population and Development. Founding Member and BOD Member, Community Medicine Development Foundation Inc. Consultant, Community Health Service and Program for Alternative Health Sciences Education, Department of Health. Program Consultant, Integrated Community Health Services Program, DOH, AUSAID. Program Consultant, National Healing Ministry, Iglesia Filipina Independiente. Faculty or Curriculum Consultant, Curriculum Development, National Center for Biosafety and Biosecurity, National Institute of Health, UP Manila, and Project Coordinator, Online Course for Teachers on the 4 R's of Child Sexual Abuse in partnership with the Department of Education, UNICEF, Child Protection Network, and UP Manila.
Dr. Sonny Matias E. Habacon.
Dr. Habacon truly epitomizes the type of graduates FEU-NRMF aims to produce each year, with his dedication undoubtedly contributing to the Institute's persistent reputation as a premier medical school in the country. During his tenure as faculty, he was a respected educator as a biochemistry instructor and assistant professor in the Department of Pharmacology. He has several achievement awards, including Most Outstanding Alumnus of 2006 during the annual reunion of the FEU-NRMF in Houston, Texas. He holds a master's degree in educational management and is well respected by his peers. Aside from his teaching load, he was the unofficial advisor to the student body. After serving as alma mater, he was appointed Dean of the Metropolitan Medical Center College of Medicine, a position he has held since 2017.
Professor Nardito D. Moraleta.
Mr. Moraleta would not have merited the title Professor Moraleta were it not for his multiple teaching positions within and outside FEU-NRMF. In close to 3 decades, he had the following roles: Laboratory Instructor, Department of Arts and Sciences, PUC, Caloocan City; High School Teacher, Polillo Academy, Quezon Province; Assistant Instructor Lecturer, College of Pharmacy and Medical Technology at the Manila Central University; Assistant Instructor, School of Medical Technology at Far Eastern University; Training Officer, Department of Microbiology at FEU; Instructor Lecturer, College of Medical Sciences and Technology at the Philippine Women's University; and Reviewer Lecturer in Clinical Microscopy, MedTech, Laws, and Hematology at Diagnostic Laboratories, Far Eastern University, Manila Central University, Philippine Women's University, Doctor's Laboratory, Perpetual Health Hospital, Martinez Memorial Colleges, University of the Philippines Institute of Hygiene, University of Baguio, Pioneer Review Center, University of Santo Tomas, Southwestern University, and Luzon Colleges. He was also an Assistant Professor B, Department of Pathology at FEU-NRMF SMT, member of the Committee on Admission, President Manager, Pioneer Review Center, Instructor Lecturer, College of Medical Sciences and Technology, Philippine Women's University, Assistant Professor A, Far Eastern University, President, FEU MedTech Faculty Club, Chairman, Committee on Curriculum, FEU-NRMF SMT, and a Board Director of the FEU Medicine Faculty Club. His credentials and achievements were highly recognized by the government as well, through his appointment as a member of the Council of Medical Technology Education under the Department of Education's Bureau of Private Schools. In addition, the Professional Regulation Commission awarded him the Outstanding Medical Technologist of the Year in 1978. Meanwhile, in the private sector, he was Treasurer and President of the Philippine Association of Schools of MedTech and Public Health Incorporated. Finally, some of the notable awards associated with FEU-NRMF were Most Outstanding Faculty Award for the year 1979 to 1980, Most Outstanding Alumni Award during the 50th anniversary of the Institute of Medicine, and Most Outstanding Alumnus Leadership category on the 45th anniversary of the foundation.
Dr. Magdalena F. Natividad.
For her remarkable accomplishments as an individual, like topping the medical technology licensure examination in 1975, and the excellent board performance of the FEU-NRMF School of Medical Laboratory Science under her deanship, Dr. Natividad has recently been appointed as the Vice President for Academic Affairs. She has also reached the highest rank amongst the faculty, namely full professor under the Department of Microbiology and Parasitology. She had also made immense contributions as immediate past president of the Philippine Association of Schools of Medical Technology and Hygiene, past president, Philippine Academic Society for Microbiology and Parasitology, former board director, Philippine Association of Medical Technologists, past president, FEU-NRMF Medical Technology Alumni Society, member, Philippine Society of Biochemistry and Molecular Biology, member, CPE Council of Medical Technology, PRC, and member, CHED Technical Committee for Medical Technology Education. As a result, she was a recipient of the Most Outstanding Alumnus Award, FEU-NRMF Medical Technology Alumni Society, a Horacio Ilagan Award, Most Outstanding Senior Faculty Member twice over, Claro Cabrera Award, Most Outstanding Faculty Member under the School of Medical Technology, and the Samuel Green Award, Most Outstanding Junior Faculty Member.
Colonel Filipinas Francisco Papa.
Colonel Papa is a graduate of BA Zoology and Medical Technology, entered the Philippine Constabulary in 1972, and was assigned at the Medical Legal Branch of the PC, now PNP, Crime Laboratory. Being a medical technologist, she assisted in the autopsy of cases of rape and physical injury. In her collaboration with pathologist Colonel Desiderio A. Moraleda, the forensic anthropology and forensic odontology were started and had increased the accuracy of identification of skeletal remains. She also innovated the procedure of blood typing and blood stains used in the solution to many crimes, notably the shooting of Colonel Francisco Baula in 1988. She also started a blood pattern analysis that helps investigators determine what occurred in the crime, the position of the victim and assailant. As a forensic scientist, she was instrumental in the professionalization of SOCO, and since the district chief in Quezon City solved many crime scenes, hence she was contributory in the television series which goes by the same name. Likewise, she has been sought as a consultant in difficult crimes and has given numerous lectures and seminars, one of which was at the American Society of Clinical Pathologists in Tucson, Arizona in August 2019.
Dr. Genesis C. Rivera.
Dr. Rivera is currently the Executive Director of the Center for Medical and Allied Health Services and the Dean of the College of Medicine at New Era University. He served various positions in training and research at PCMC, Fidel Mundo Medical Center, past president of the Philippine Pediatric Society, and board member of the Philippine Ambulatory Pediatric Association. In 2018, he was Congress President of the 14th Congress of the Asian Society of Pediatric Research, held in Manila. He was also an associate professor in the Departments of Child Health and Pharmacology at FEU-NRMF and St. Luke's Medical Center, and a full professor at New Era University College of Medicine. While he loves pediatrics, he continues to pursue his passion for music in organ, piano, and chorale conducting. Dr. Rivera has a master's degree in educational management and is a doctoral candidate in educational leadership. Congratulations to all the GAWA JCR awardees! Our fourth category is research. Recipients of this award must have active personal involvement in research, publication of research works in local and international journals, or must have been a recipient of special research awards.
Here are the Outstanding Alumni Awardees for the research category. Dr. Sid Clariza Grepo Sartores.
Mrs. Sartores started as a research specialist at the Infectious Disease Section of UP-PGH. Then she became Staff Research Specialist 3 in Microbiology at RITM Ministry of Health, where she performed clinical diagnostic microbiology tests on research patients. She also worked at the University of California San Diego Medical Center for 19 years. She was technical representative to the Multi-Center and Nationwide AIDS Clinical Trials and Treatment Group Research Study. where she performed tissue culture preparation, isolation, and identification of HIV-1 and confirmatory testing of P24, HIV-1's core protein. Later on, she worked at the Molecular Microbiology, University of California Health Sciences for 11 years, where she performed qualitative and quantitative viral load assays, analyzed data, and wrote procedures of all molecular non-wave tests. Finally, she received the Great Catch Award given by the UCSD's Patient Safety Committee in 2014 for helping identify a problem that could have affected thousands more if left unquestioned.
Dr. Herman L. Hedriana.
Dr. Hedriana is a multi-awarded researcher. In 1996, he received the Dean's Research Award from the UC Davis School of Medicine, as well as the Hibbert E. Williams Research Award in 1998, Community Grant from the California March of Dimes in 2002, California March of Dimes Chapter Directed Mission Investment Grant in 2012, California March of Dimes Prematurity Champion in 2014, Excellence in Leadership, Dignity Health, Perinatal Safety in 2014, American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists Council of District Chairs Service Recognition Award in 2015, American Journal of Obstetrics and Gynecology Outstanding Contribution in Reviewing in 2017, 40th Dean's Lecture Award, FEU-NRMF Institute of Medicine in 2018, American Journal of Obstetrics and Gynecology Society for Maternal Fetal Medicine Research Excellence Award for a highly cited paper, Use of Maternal Early Warning Trigger Tool Reduces Maternal Morbidity in 2018, National Science Foundation Award for Transabdominal Fetal Oximetry for Improved Intrapartum Fetal Monitoring is under the direction of Soheil Ghiasi, Diana Farmer, Wujiang Wang, Herman L. Hedriana, January 1, 2019, ending December 31, 2022. Data Science Center, Impact, UC Davis Office of Research, dates 2019 to 2022, Top Downloaded Paper Award, 2018 to 2019, recognized as one of the most read in prenatal diagnosis. Award for Leadership and Commitment to Promote and Advocate for Women at UC Davis and in the Sacramento community, given by the Status of Women at Davis Administrative Advisory Subcommittee at UC Davis Health at the first SWA-DAAC International Women's Day celebration, and the American Journal of Obstetrics and Gynecology Maternal Fetal Medicine recognition as one of the top 3 reviewers based on the number of reviews completed, average time to submit a review, and the ratings you received after completing the review in 2020.
Dr. Laila D. Reyes.
In many ways, Dr. Reyes' excellence, intelligence, and accomplishments in research complement precisely the stellar community of recipients and make her highly deserving of the honor and opportunity bestowed by her alma mater. Most of her research papers were presented by the residents, locally and internationally, were published in the journals, and had won several awards. In 2018, she was awarded the Outstanding Investigator in the field of research by the FEU Research Center for Development.
Congratulations to all the research awardees. At this point, FEU-NRMF would like to express its sincerest gratitude to the following benefactors. We're down to our last 2 categories, but the remainder of our list contains individuals who are equally remarkable with the awardees we have mentioned earlier. It is time to reveal those who have excelled in community service. Recipients of this award must have active personal involvement in community service, must be serving as an officer or organizer of a local or international social civic organization, or is a recipient of special community service awards,
Here are the Outstanding Alumni Awardees for the Community Service category. Dr. Amethyst C. Cureg.
Prior to her retirement, Dr. Cureg was active in the clinical and academic specialty of pediatrics and in the arena of public health and community services. She was in the faculty of the University of Tennessee in Memphis and the University of California, San Diego. She was formerly director of the Children's Health Programs in the HHSA Maternal Child and Family Health Service Division, but serves in an advisory capacity to date. After retirement, she volunteered her time and expertise supporting the mission and goals of the FEU-NRMF. She was elected to the Board of Trustees as treasurer. In her short term, she created the foundation's vision and mission brochure, solicited significant monetary donations to support the scholarship programs, and serves as co-editor of the official newsletter, Ectopic Murmurs.
Dr. Teodoro E. Martin.
Having served as hospital director for 4 of Manila's 6 district hospitals, he has built tangible structure and staff framework with the goal of delivering quality healthcare to the poorest sections of the city. His unparalleled dedication to the urban and underprivileged communities of the city is evidenced by his continual efforts to find ways and means to alleviate their sufferings. Dr. Martin's dynamism, resilience, and effectivity are noted by the city government, hence his appointment to the highest positions of the city's district hospitals since 2009.
Dr. Raquel Sosayo.
Dr. Sosayo started her career as faculty and consultant of DFCM UPPGH. Then she went on to be founding chair of DFCM MCU FDTMF and was further appointed as medical director. With her exemplary record, she shifted her career to government service with her appointment as medical director of President Diosdado Macapagal Memorial Hospital, and later on as city health officer of the Caloocan Health Department. Upon her retirement from government service, she devoted her time to social civic work, being the medical director of the Philippine Red Cross since 2004 and an active member of Rotary Club and Inner Wheel Club, Caloocan.
Congratulations to all the Community Service awardees! Our final category for the night is something highly valuable to Dr. Nicanor Reyes Sr. Loyalty. Loyalty not to each other, but to the educational mission of FEU-NRMF and the high ideals upon which it was founded. Thus, recipients of this award must have served the institution for at least 25 years, or served the institution from graduation to retirement.
Here are the Outstanding Alumni Awardees for the Loyalty category. Dr. Dean Campo Cruz.
Dr. Campo Cruz is a perfect example of true dedication and commitment to the Institute of Medicine. She began her journey as a university academic scholar in both degrees of Bachelor of Science in Preparatory Medicine, as well as Doctor of Medicine. She obtained a residency training in obstetrics and gynecology in the same institution, and subsequently became a consultant and professor in the department. She attained the prominent position of Chief of Clinics and held it for 7 years with all the zealousness and dedication anyone can imagine.
Dr. Reynaldo Basilio de Vega.
Dr. De Vega is a homegrown faculty mentor and consultant of FEU-NRMF. He completed his residency training in pediatrics in 1976. From then on, he served as faculty and active consultant of the Department of Child Health. He became chairman of the department and subsequently served as medical director for 8 years. He was past president of the FEU-NRMF Medical Alumni Society and Faculty Club. He has served the institution for over 4 decades, overseeing the transfer of the Medical Center and the Institute of Medicine from Moraita, Manila to Fairview, Quezon City. He has also served various positions in the Philippine Pediatric Society and is a founding member of the Philippine Society of Pediatric Gastroenterology, Hepatology, and Nutrition.
When you go to a university, it's people meeting people, learning with each other, and learning from the best. It's working together to build something bigger than ourselves. A relentless purpose to create endless possibilities. One school. One dream. Making an impact. This is your future. Your opportunity between ordinary and extraordinary. Find your strength. Find your passion. Find your place. Find your opportunity. Find your community. Find your potential. Find your future. Here at FEU-NRMF, we transform lives. 50 years ago, our forefathers formed an institution destined to become a catalyst for change. For over 30,000 graduates of healers, innovators, and leaders across the globe who are meant to make a difference. It's who we've always been and what we're constantly becoming. We redefine success. We redefine happiness. We redefine aspirations. And we redefine generations. This is our commitment, our tradition of excellence. FEU-NRMF. Education Redefined.
Congratulations to all the awardees. As our event comes to a close, here is a message from the chair of the 50th Founding Anniversary Celebration, Dr. Pio T. Esguerra.
As we celebrate the 50th foundation of FEU-NRMF, it is befitting to recognize and honor 50 of its most outstanding alumni. You, the awardees, personify the exemplary achievements and realization of the mission, vision of the foundation. You are officially the faces of FEU-NRMF here and elsewhere in the world. Founded by Nicanor M. Reyes Jr. in 1971, he envisioned FEU-NRMF to be at the forefront of the pursuit of excellence in medical and paramedical education, services, and research. We pay tribute to our founder, a centenarian this month of August, and the men and women who worked with him along the way. We glorify the achievements and milestones of the foundation under JCR, who succeeded NMR. And now, under the leadership of our chairman, Ambassador Nicanor C. Reyes III, FEU-NRMF indulges in a series of scaled-down activities throughout 2021 to glorify our facts. This award for the 50 most outstanding alumni, plus a special award, is symbolic of the Foundation's goal of inspiring the current and future generations of alumni to even brighter 50 years ahead. This particular activity took more than 3 years in the making, is initiated by FEU-NRMF President, Attorney Antonio H. Abad Jr. We give thanks to him, together with the members of the 50 Most Outstanding Selection Committee. We recognize the support of our sponsors and the efforts of the members of the 50th Anniversary Celebration Committee, composed of President Abad, the Chief Operating Officer, Juan Enrique Reyes, the Chief Finance Officer, Dentor Pagtalunan, and Madam Liwayway Talag, as well as behind the camera crew, Mark Kevin Santos, Gian Getalada, and of course, Mr. Kevin Joseph Reyes. Congratulations ad astra per aspera.
And that concludes this year's awarding ceremony for the 50 Most Outstanding Alumni of the Far Eastern University Dr. Nicanor Reyes Medical Foundation. With great pride, let us all sing the FEU hymn.